All right, and so with those missing bolts, you're missing those brackets too, and so the gasket can't seal properly. And that's why I do not believe it was the gasket that failed. I believe it was just the bolts not put back in. And I think somebody was just trying to say there was no bolts there just to cover up the fact that they just lost bolts.
Right.
So, but that's all, that's I think.
Sure.
That's not, I don't know what happened for sure, but you could see the fresh oil on the pan. And that's why it coated like that in the back, because it was just pouring down. It just, as you heat it up, it just came out, because you have a gap. Because they're right next to each other and they're not spread out, you have a gap. So it's just like when you put a water pump on and it doesn't seal correctly,
right.
It's gonna slide out. As soon as it heats up, it's gonna start pouring out.
Yeah.
The consistency of it changes with heat, which is why we use it, because it lubricates. Well, it comes out the crevices in the back. You see what I mean by the missing 2 bolts in the back? I have the picture on my phone and how the gasket's sticking out because it's not seated properly. So you could easily I got a better picture. It's
okay.
Because it's wrong angle. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like to see the picture.
All right.
Yeah,
my phone's up there, but the picture you can see where the gasket is sticking out because it's not properly mounted.
Oh, wow.
The brackets aren't on it, and so it sticks out and it's not seated properly. So with that that'd be like this bracket right here missing, okay? And so your gasket would come out, it would pop out because it's not on there. It's a guide, it holds it in place, whereas up there the guides are missing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to explain it the way you understand it, because I understand where you would think it was like, because that's what I thought when I was put under it. I was like, oh, and I touched it, but that's old oil. That's where your leak was probably at to begin with. Which is why I always clean it up after I'm done, and I always run it and I check it for leaks.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been smart to do.
It just depends on what tech, but I've been doing this for 7 years.
Okay, yeah.
So I know, like, everybody's like, oh, female don't know what she's doing, but I do know what I'm talking about. It's just, I understand your concern here, whereas, and I know it's gonna, but that's your problem right there, is back there, is those bolts. I'll send the picture, I'll text the picture to you. Because I saved it, because I took it for purposes, because they should have never let you go without those 2 bolts there. Like, sometimes you can get away with missing one, but not with these Max Forces when they have the brackets like that. It's this type of gasket. If it was if it was a flat gasket where you just bolted it on, like the pan itself seats it, you can get away with missing one. But you can't get away with it with these Max Forces. I don't like Max Forces to begin with, but that's the problem back there.
Yeah, and if you were to put it back with 2 missing bolts, which I know you wouldn't, would it be better to space it out? Yeah,
they should have. Like, if they were trying to cover it, they shouldn't have covered it to begin with. But right back there is really kind of a big deal, an important deal. But it covers it because, like, when the oil comes out, you see how all the way back is coated?
Yeah.
And that's why. Yeah, that's why, because I was like, why is the puddle back there? But it's just been dripping off your frame because you've been driving, and just from driving, the oil is just falling, and then it's just coating everything through the back. Which is why when you have oil leaks and stuff, that's why it coats everything back.
Yeah, so it would have been better to put one on each side, maybe, if you would.
Yeah, if they were to do it, but they just, I don't know what was going on with them. They're a different shop, they're a different tech. I don't know if he was just a new tech or just something happened, but that's why you just cover your ass when you do it. That's why they wrote it up as you were missing 2 bolts, but you had no idea about it. That's going to be the issue there, is they're going to be like, oh well. But I would definitely you definitely need to call the shop and say,
okay.
All right. I'm gonna text the picture, but you said the TA said they were gonna pay the bill.
Yeah, I'm gonna call them right now.
Because the gasket failed in the back. Without those bolts, that caused the gasket to fail. So, the gasket failed in the back.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.